everyone. We're here. It's a bit of a cough here at the start. We're here today to talk about something that is extremely important that will help you with your communication skills. So as some people join, I'm just going to check here if we're live, if everything is okay. Let's just check in here on my phone. Stick around, say hello in the comments. If you're here, tell us where you are watching from and tell us your name. And we'll get started now in a couple of minutes. A couple of seconds, I should say. Try this. Is it working here? Okay, we have some people. Hello from Bali. Very nice. Marina is in Bali. Nice one. What's the weather like in Bali today, need I ask? I'm sure it is fantastic. Hello, we have a couple of people dropping in. Okay, great. Monica, reading. Great, Monica. Welcome. Welcome. Nice to see you. And welcome to everyone. Welcome to all of our new members in the community. Is my music too loud? Let me know. I think I'll lower down the music a little bit and just to make sure you can hear me clearly. This is a great one today. This is very important. Hello, everyone. Hello, Justina. Hello, Monica. Hello, Marina. It's a great sunny weather today. Nice one. Okay. It's not that sunny here in Ireland. Okay, let's get started. So there are going to be some people joining us on the replay later, so I don't want to waste too much time at the start here. We want to get straight down to business and explain to you why we're live here today. Today we are talking, obviously, in this group, English for Success. We're talking about communication skills. And what I want to share with you here today is one of the most powerful tools you can use to improve your English communication skills. And if you follow me, if you followed me for a while, you know how we improve our communication skills. We don't practice grammar, right? Studying grammar for a test or anything like that. We need to get practice communicating, okay? Most of you want to speak English with confidence. You want to inspire people with your ideas. So that's what you need to get experience doing. So I'm going to share with you here today how I'm helping my clients inside the program at the moment, what exactly we're doing. And this tool is going to really help you. For the rest of your life, you're going to be able to use this tool to inspire people, to make sure that people love listening to you. Wouldn't that be great? All right, let's get started here. So inside our coaching program, this is the community here, English for Success, but inside the coaching program with my clients, we are doing exactly what I just told you, right? We're working on all of these real skills, real communication skills. This is the way you need to be focusing your energy, not wasting your time studying grammar and things like that, okay? So what we're doing at the moment is it's a section called Story Brand, okay? Your story brand. And this is really, really important, really powerful. We're getting a lot of excitement inside the program talking about this at the moment. And basically, the idea is the power of story, right? The power of story to communicate your message. I think you know already. If someone says to you, let me tell you a story, or I have a story to tell you, you're ready to pay attention, right? For thousands of years, this is how we've passed on information as human beings, is by telling stories. Stories are not just for kids. The problem is we stop telling stories when we stop thinking about kids, but you should be using stories in your messages every day, all right? And what different situations do we have? Well, look at the examples, right? Some of the best stories that we've ever heard, some of the best stories in the world, these epic stories that everybody remembers forever. What are they using? How are they told? Why are they so powerful? Well, we're going to talk about this today, and we're going to share with you how you can use this power to communicate your message. So, when you think about improving your English communication skills, you need to think about the best communicators in the world, right? Look at things like TED Talks. This is an example, Brian Stevenson here, one of the most successful TED Talks ever delivered, and the longest standing ovation ever received. So people stood up at the end, they clapped their hands for the longest time. And you see this number on the screen here, 65%. That is the amount of time that Brian spent telling stories. Okay, and this is really important because most people think, you know, you have a job to do, you want to deliver your message, and most people think they just give information and people will get it, people will listen to you, people will follow your idea, right? But you cannot persuade people with data or with information alone. You need to wrap it in a story. Okay, and there's the example. 65% of his time he spent telling stories. Okay, so what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to give you some examples of how you can use stories, right? And we are using stories all of the time, or we should be. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're doing a business presentation, a job interview, or a marketing pitch, or just speaking with people. Okay, you can, in a business idea, you're selling your brand, right? Your product, your service in a business presentation. In an interview, you're selling your own personal brand, right? Your own personal story. And you should be using stories in all of these situations. In a marketing pitch, you're selling your idea, right? You're trying to persuade people to believe in your idea. And all of these situations, you should be using the power of story. And that's what we're doing with our clients inside the program at the moment. Lots of different types of situations, and we're training them to use the power of story. So first of all, what does every story need? What do you think? Drop it into the comments if you can answer before I tell you. What does every story need? All right, Marina. Ideas should be worth sharing and be beneficial to lots of people. If you have ideas, right? If you have ideas worth sharing and they are beneficial, because we all do, right? We all have ideas that are beneficial to other people. If no one is going to listen to our ideas, well then it's a waste of time, right? So you can use the power of story to make them interested, to make them love listening to you. See below here, I have the power of story so that people will love listening to you. Okay, so what does every story need? Every story needs, what does it need? A hero. Okay, a character, a main character, the hero. Okay, and this is the starting point. This is the most important part of the story. And something that you need to understand is, who is the hero? Imagine you're giving a business presentation. Imagine you're giving a marketing pitch, or you're in a job interview. Who is the hero in your story you're going to tell? Most people think it's you, right? It's me. If I'm telling a story, the story is about me. I'm the hero. No, that's not correct. Okay, the person you are speaking to is the hero in your story. Okay, so if you think about it, if you're selling, you know, a product, if you are doing a marketing pitch, you're trying to sell your idea, or you're in a job interview, then what you can do is you can put the person who's listening to as the hero in your story. Okay, everyone is the hero in their own story, right? So if you tell a story, you want your customer, let's use the word customer here today, the customer to be the hero. Okay, everyone is not looking for another hero, right? They want to hear about themselves. So first of all, the main part of your story is the hero, and make the other person the hero of your story. Okay, and there are three main questions that you need to be able to be clear about when you're telling your story. Okay, first of all, what does the hero want? Right? Imagine if you are selling a product, you're doing a business presentation or a marketing pitch, and you have a product you want to sell, a sales pitch, right? The customer is the hero, and you have to know clearly, what does the customer want? Okay, that's the first question. You need to be clear in your head, and you need to have it clear in the story. The second question is, what is stopping them from getting what they want? And the third question is, what will their life look like if they get this, or if they don't get what they want? Okay, these are the three main questions that you need to have clear in your story. And you know, there's a book. This is inspired by the book by Donald Miller, and it is basically a 7-step framework. And this is what we're working through in the program at the moment with our amazing clients, right? We have people, we have Pi in there. He's developing a story for a presentation. He wants to present his idea to the company. We have Apple, who's a tour guide, and she is helping people to have a perfect trip, right? You booking flights and things like that. So she's helping people to achieve this magical trip, right? Perfect trip, perfect journey. We have people giving financial advice. We have people delivering different programs. We have HR, people helping other people to get jobs. We have people delivering self-development programs. We have another tour guide. We have someone selling toys. Lots of different ideas that they want to deliver, and they are placing their customer or the audience as the hero of their story, right? And this is the framework that we are working with. There are 7 steps, 7 elements to any story. And, you know, when you think of some of those movies and cartoons and epic stories I shared with you earlier, Shrek, Mission Impossible, James Bond, any famous story or any famous book, they all have these 7 elements. This is how story writers and movies keep people's attention for 2 hours when they come to the cinema or when they watch a movie. It's impossible to keep people's attention these days for that long. I said to my clients during the week that Facebook, the algorithm on Facebook considers it a success. You've got people's attention if they pay attention to you for 3 seconds. So how do people get their audience to listen to them for 2 hours? Well, they use these 7 elements. And today I'm going to explain to you the first 3 elements of this story framework. And then if you want to get the full training on this, you can comment below, comment my story below, and we'll get you the full training, okay? But for now, let's talk about the first 3 elements. The first element, you know already. What is it? Number 1 is a character who is the hero, okay? And you need to be really clear. First of all, who's the hero? If you're telling a story in your business presentation or your marketing pitch or your sales pitch, and you're telling a story, remember, you are not the hero. They are the hero. The customer is the hero in the story. And you need to be clear about what they want. You need to open what we call a story gap, right? A story gap. So we have the character on one side, the hero, and then on the other side, you need to have clearly defined what they want, right? And there's a gap there, right? So that's a story gap. And what they want, you need to have it described really clear and focused on one thing, what this hero wants. So if it's a sales pitch or a business presentation or a marketing pitch, you need to have a really clear, defined desire that what your hero wants. Okay, so that's the first part. The second element for any great story, any epic story, is problem. Okay, this hero always has a problem. Think of any movie you've ever watched. All right, if it was a movie about some person who was a millionaire with a beautiful wife and a fantastic car and everything was perfect and it always stayed perfect, you would get bored very soon. Okay, we need to have a conflict. So the hero in your story has a problem, and in your story, let's stick with let's say it's a marketing pitch or sales pitch. You're trying to sell your product, right? So your customer is the hero. You have defined what they want, what is their desire, and they have a problem. What is their problem? Okay, so one of my clients inside the program is doing, she has a tour company, right? She is helping elderly people or senior citizens because they're lonely, right? And she helps them to go on a trip so they have some joy, some happiness in their lives. Okay, so the hero in her story is this elderly person, old person, senior citizen. We don't say old person, right? It's not polite. And the problem is loneliness. That they are lonely, that they don't have a quality of life. Okay, and when you talk about a problem in your story, there's two kinds of problems, right? What we call external problems, which are outside, which are real things, and then we have internal problems. Okay, so to give you some clarity about this, think of, for example, the brand, right? Rolex. This is not a Rolex, right? But think about the brand Rolex, right? They tell a story. This is why they're so successful. Any successful brand is telling a story, right? And their customer has a problem. What's the external problem? Well, they need a watch, right? They don't have a watch. But that's not why people buy a Rolex. People don't buy a Rolex because they want to tell the time. I think you know that already, right? There is an internal, something internal, maybe a feeling. So what is Rolex really selling? They're selling status. Someone wants to feel like they have high status, that they're part of a higher stratus, a higher part of humanity, a higher part of the group of people with a lot of money, right? They have this status. So when you're telling your story, don't talk about the external problem, talk about the internal problem. Okay? Cars, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Porsche. The external problem, maybe I need a car, but that's not the real issue, right? The real issue is, again, luxury, status, okay? So a character, who's the character? The character is your customer or the stakeholder, the person you're telling the story to, and you need to know what their desire is, what they want, and you need to have it clear. Number two, they have a problem. And there are two types of problems, right? External and internal. You focus on the internal problems, okay? Do they feel lonely? Do they feel insecure? Do they feel bored with their life, okay? Focus on an internal problem. And then element number three in the story is meets a guide. Think about any famous movies or any epic stories, you know, right? It follows this pattern. The hero has a problem, meets a guide. Gandalf, right? The wizard, a guide. Someone steps in. Yoda in Star Wars, a guide. Someone steps in to show them the way, okay? And in your story, if you're telling a story as part of your business presentation, at this stage, you know now you should be using stories, right? So your business presentation, your marketing pitch, if you're selling your idea, who's the guide? It's you, right? Your customer is the hero. You are the guide. And the guide, you must present yourself in the right way. The hero in your story has two questions about the guide. The hero wants to know, number one, can I trust this guide? And question number two is, can I respect this guide? Is this guide able to guide me? Right? So they're the two questions the hero wants to know about the guide. Anyone listening to the story wants to know about the guide. So if you're positioning yourself as the guide, you need to answer these two questions by showing two characteristics in this character. Number one, you need to have empathy. Empathy means that you understand someone else's feelings, right? You understand the hero's feelings. That's empathy. You understand the hero. You understand their desires. You understand their problem. You understand what they want. Okay, you understand how they are feeling. That's empathy. And the second thing you need to show is authority. If you're a guide, you want to be qualified to be a guide. Do you have the experience? Have you helped heroes like this in the past to get their outcome? Okay, you need to have this experience. You need to have authority. So that is the first 3 steps in any major story. As I said, there are 7 steps. We don't have time to go into them all here, but this is a very powerful framework that you can use to improve your communication skills, to persuade people, to make sure you deliver your message so people love listening to you. These are the types of skills that you need to be practicing if you need to communicate with confidence. Okay, so how long did we take? We went over 20 minutes. I was hoping to keep it under 20 minutes, right? Inside the program, this is what we focus on. We focus on real communication skills. Talk like TED, right? How you deliver a TED-worthy presentation, how you communicate your irresistible offer, how you brand yourself with a story, how you convince people with a story, business communication skills, life communication skills. This is what you should be practicing. So I hope today this gave you some inspiration. I'm sure it did. And I want to encourage you to use the power of story in your communications in the future. This is something that you need to be using. All the successful people in the world are storytellers. You need to become a storyteller too. If you want to learn more about this, if you want to get the full training or speak about how you can apply to join our coaching program, comment my story below and we'll contact you and help you out with that. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week. Stay active, stay focused on real communication skills and enjoy the journey. I'll see you all soon.